My favorite holiday is Halloween. I don't think I could ever survive any year without Halloween. But with Halloween comes a lot of candy and chocolate. And who can resist the urge of eating this amazing, scrumptious chocolate? I know I can't, and looks like neither the universe can. But the thing with sugary foods is that everyone knows it leads to complications, such as diabetes or weight gain. But I wanted to know if there was anything else that is caused by sugary foods, fried foods, sodas, and pops. And that was Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is a brain disorder that slowly destroys memory and thinking skills, and eventually the ability to carry out the simplest of tasks. So maybe I'll put this chocolate away for now. And the thing is, nearly 55 million people worldwide suffer from Alzheimer's, and this number is expected to jump all the way up to 78 million people in 2030. So after my deep dive, one question remained. Is it possible to use connectome data to see how diet impacts brain function and potentially puts us at a higher risk of diseases like Alzheimer's? My hypotheses? A diet high in processed foods, sugars, and fats can negatively impact connectivity in specific brain regions, making them more similar to patterns commonly seen in Alzheimer's. So to test this out, I looked at two MRI scans, one of a healthy person who doesn't have Alzheimer's and another of a person who does have Alzheimer's. And what were the key differences I saw? Here are two MRI scans, one of a brain without Alzheimer's and the other brain with Alzheimer's. As you can see, the main three differences between these two MRI scans is the cerebral cortex, the ventricles, and the hippocampus. In the healthy brain, the hippocampus appears denser and fuller, maintaining a typical volume. This structure is critical for memory formation and retrieval. However, in the Alzheimer's brain, the hippocampus is visibly smaller and more atrophied. This shrinkage correlates with the memory loss often seen in Alzheimer patients. With the cerebral cortex, the healthy brain shows a thicker cortex, which supports cognitive functions like thinking, planning, and decision making. In the Alzheimer's brain, there is noticeable cortical thinning, especially in areas linked to memory and cognition, such as the frontal and temporal lobes. For the ventricles and the healthy brain, the ventricles are smaller as the brain tissue fills more space. However, in the Alzheimer's brain, the ventricles are enlarged, resulting from the surrounding brain tissue shrinking. This enlargement is a compensatory response to the loss of brain tissue. This condition is known as ventriculomegaly. So you might be wondering, how does Alzheimer's and those MRI scans I showed you even connect back to our diet? Well, that's what I'll be telling you right now. But before I say anything, I just want to make it clear that it's totally fine to still eat sugary and fried foods because there is nothing that will stop me from eating my Maynards and my Jolly Rancher gummies because they taste good. So as long as I eat them in moderation, everything will be fine. Now back to what I was saying. So the 5 main types of foods that are the most linked to causing Alzheimer's is sugary foods and beverages, processed meats, refined carbohydrates, trans fat, and fried food. So for sugary foods and beverages, the high sugar intake impacts the insulin sensitivity in the brain, therefore disrupting the glucose regulations and causing damage to the hippocampus, a region vital for memory. So for processed meats, the preservatives and nitrates in them increase oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which speed up the neurodegenerative process. These foods also contribute to decreased connectivity in the hippocampus and cerebral cortex. So for refined carbs, they cause spikes in blood sugar, leading to insulin resistance and neuroinflammation. For insulin resistance, it impacts the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus as it weakens crucial paths needed for cognitive function. So for trans fats, they increase the LDL cholesterol level, leading to plaque buildup in brain blood vessels and restriction of blood flow. This restriction of blood flow impairs connections from the amygdala and the cerebral cortex. For fried foods, they introduce high levels of saturated fats, sodium, and artificial additives, all of which increase inflammation and oxidative damage. These effects mainly target the frontal lobe and hippocampus. Through leveraging connectomics, we can better understand how specific foods damage or support the brain's network, offering insights for early intervention and prevention. Embracing diets like the Mediterranean diet that promote connectivity in key brain regions may be a vital part of a comprehensive approach to Alzheimer's prevention, helping to maintain cognitive health and delay one of those symptoms associated with neurodegenerative diseases. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this and you learned a lot because I'll be posting more YouTube videos later in the future. Bye!